Do you recall when the Fever had trouble on defense, made odd substitutions, and the referee was unable to give them a break? Those days might be over, though. A familiar face has entered and Christy Sides has departed. However, this isn't even the primary narrative. Caitlin Clark was therefore energized throughout Friday. First, the big news: Caitlin Clark definitely agrees with the hiring of Stephanie White as the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. It's obvious that Caitlin Clark respects head coach Stephanie White, and she didn't hesitate to show it. The real surprise came when Caitlin Clark and her coworkers, who had been radio silent since Sides' firing, suddenly spoke up. What they are saying about the new coach, what has changed, and why everyone has now spoken up will astound you. This video will examine the implications of White's hiring for the Indiana Fever and the future of both the franchise and the WNBA. We'll learn the significance of this new team makeover and how it puts the Fever one step closer to winning a championship as we dig deeper. The past week was a game changer for the Indiana Fever. The head coach is no longer Christy Sides. The squad qualified for the playoffs, so what's the matter? Let's dissect it then. Sides had a strong run, leading the Fever to their first postseason appearance since 2016 and a 2020 record. Not too terrible, isn't it? The problem is that the front desk was not happy. As they considered the big picture, they identified some challenges that were unavoidable. Let's talk about such difficulties. Rotations were everywhere. In-game adjustments were useless, and defense was a complete mess. It was similar to seeing a high school coach try to outsmart WNBA veterans. The squad was suffering greatly as a result of Sides' inability to pull it together. Due to a poor defensive approach at the end of the game, the team effectively lost the second playoff game against the Connecticut Sun. Even though these kinds of decisions are never simple, we must continue to be bold and forceful in our pursuit of our objectives, which include making the most of our potential and returning to the beautiful state of Indiana with another WNBA title. I say this because Indiana is a great state. We hope Coach Sides has the best possible future because she was an amazing representative of the Fever in our community. This is Kelly Kosproff, the new president of basketball operations for the Fever. What is the answer then? The new sheriff of the town, Stephanie White, enters. This isn't your typical coach coming through those doors, I can assure you. White and the Fever have a lengthy history together. After 2 seasons as head coach, we're talking about the 2011 to 2014 tenure as assistant coach, which included a championship run with the renowned Tamika Catchings. Did I also mention that in her first season, she led the team to the WNBA finals? Yes, that did happen. However, White isn't sitting back and enjoying her success, so keep your hats on. This woman just finished a stellar stint at the Connecticut Sun. After leading her squad to a 5-5-2-5 record over 2 seasons, including 2 postseason trips, she was chosen as the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year. Front desk salivate at that kind of accomplishment. The Fever got one of the best coaches in the league, not just a good one. Why, therefore, the change? Why now? The administration of the Fever isn't fooling around. They are eager for a title, and they want it now. They believed White had more promise as a coach and could take this talented team to the next level. They are now playing for championships rather than just the playoffs. There's more to this story, though, so hold on. The front office and the coach are here, but what about the players? How do they feel about all of this? At this point, things start to get really interesting. Let's first acknowledge what is happening. The WNBA had better pay notice to the Fever's big moves. This squad, led by White, wants to dominate rather than just compete. It's home, first and foremost. It's in my blood to be a member of the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever. Grew up in Indiana, played there, and was a member of the team. Naturally, I was a member of the team when we took home the WNBA title. And secondly, this youthful, dynamic roster. Caitlin Clark is a player of a generation, and Aaliyah Boston won Rookie of the Year twice in a row. I believe Kelsey Mitchell had her best year to date. Simply put, the roster is exciting. What a fantastic time we are in women's basketball right now. And to be able to return home and play for my home team in my home state, I'm incredibly appreciative of this exceptional chance. Hold on, everybody. Here is some information about Stephanie White before we discuss the players' opinions. There is more to this woman than just coaching. She is a basketball legend from Indiana. Her journey appears to have been predestined. White is descended from Indiana basketball. She has a long background playing Hoosier basketball and hails from West Lebanon, Indiana. She played for the Fever, wore number 22, the same number Caitlin Clark presently wears, and led Purdue to their first national championship in college. We're talking about a link. Whether White can restore that enchantment to Indiana is the crucial question. The components are present. With Aaliyah Boston controlling the paint, Kelsey Mitchell illuminating it, and Lexi Hull providing the hustle, Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent. A fantasy squad is being developed. White's teaching style is perfect for these up-and-coming athletes since she knows how to optimize each player's potential while simultaneously promoting growth. Imagine what she could achieve with Boston and Clark. It is sufficient to excite any fan of the Fever. There's more to White rejoining the Fever than just a new chapter. It is a brand new book. She called it a historic moment in women's basketball and a unique opportunity. In Indiana, the stars are aligning and White is at the center of it all. What do the players believe, however, is the crucial question. We've heard White's vision and witnessed the front office's action, but what about the team? What happens next will shock your mind, and their response might make or break the entire situation. The players choose to surprise us just when we thought the Fever's offseason could get any more intriguing. After remaining silent for weeks, they went viral on social media. However, why now? Why are Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and the rest of the group so excited? Now let's go back a little. Do you recall Christy Side's termination? There were no tweets, peeps, or other forms of contact from the squad. You could hear a basketball dropping because it was so quiet. However, the Fever players are now making a lot of noise as if someone hit the unmute button. What then changed? White, Stephanie. It seemed as though someone had kindled a fire beneath these athletes when her appointment was made public. Can you guess who took the lead? Caitlin Clark, the sensational rookie. In the most anticipated manner, Caitlin Clark hasn't said anything then. No one mentioned Christy Sides at all. No one. When she was let go. Additionally, Stephanie White had nobodies on in one of the first comments on the Instagram photo after it was announced. Caitlin Clark from the show Fever shares the post after that. Retweets follow. Caitlin Clark was wearing nobodies and more. Furthermore, the manner in which each and every player reacted immediately. When Christy Sides left, not a single person on this squad mentioned her. As we have demonstrated, Caitlin Clark shared. The post is also shared by Leo Boston. Leo Boston then shares the message on this page. Stephanie is saying, let's get it. The post is shared by Lexi Hull. The team has always been focused on winning, and I'm excited to work every day to help bring another WNBA championship to the world's biggest basketball fans. Then Nelisa Smith, of course. For example, Nelisa Smith's brother is showing interest in her by retweeting things and essentially stating that Stephanie White will DM her. However, Clark didn't end there. She retweeted the official news and shared it on her personal page. Seeing a top player brag about her new coach was like seeing a fangirl out. This is what gives it its epic quality. Clark's happiness was not unique. Nelisa Smith, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston have all engaged in the social media festivities. In contrast to their reserved after termination side, these sportsmen lit up Instagram and Twitter. People, day or night. Let's talk about what this means now. The players aren't just being kind to the new coach. There is genuine enthusiasm. The enthusiasm is practically palpable through the TV. These athletes are overjoyed and don't hold back from expressing it. Throughout college, White has called a lot of my games, and I think she has a great basketball mind. This is where things start to become really interesting. Consider the impact this has on team cohesion. We're discussing a group of players who are obviously excited about the same thing and on the same page. In team sports, that kind of unity is essential. Some fans also mentioned this, suggesting that the players might have been dissatisfied with the previous administration and that they now feel as though a burden has been lifted. What does all of this mean for the upcoming season then? The Fever squad might be closer and more motivated than ever based on comments on social media. With a team full of young talent and an exciting coach, Indiana could be about to experience something truly remarkable. Here's the crucial query, though. Will all of this online enthusiasm result in success on the court? We're all anticipating seeing that. There's no doubt about it. The Indiana Fever will be a team to watch the next season with White leading the squad and these guys on fire. You know, just basic enthusiasm. The real shocker is that the Fever have a coaching talent. Next season, is there anyone who can stop them?